guys, welcome to another episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. Hopefully you all are doing good, and this week is Dark Moon Fair. We'll have till Saturday. PvP Brawl Gravity Lapse will be this week, and we're also going to have Time Walking, and it'll be the BC version. And that is all the events going on for the week. For my goals and accomplishments, I did a couple. One is that I've been working on my hunter, as I mentioned in last week's episode. And so my goal with the hunter has been to gear her to where she can get into Sanctum of Domination, because well, I won't say she exists for the bow, because I've had this hunter since BC, so 2007 or something like that. But I did move her to a server with the expectations of her getting a bow. I have a hunter on my main server too, but she's the one that I chose to kind of level and have her elsewhere. And yeah, so I got her to 60 last week. So the progress that I've done since she's turned 60 for this week is I did gear her up in item level, and she can do LFR now, and I guess maybe normal Castle Nothrio. She is item level 173. She's still not quite there for Sanctum. Sanctum, well, for starters, you can't even get into the LFR until like 190, and I think it's like 200 or 210. That's kind of like the go-to for normal. So yeah, not ready to raid with her yet, but I have been doing the LFRs. I've been very kind of picky on what I do, because like with the druid, I do a lot of LFRs because of transmogs, but with the hunter, we're literally just after gear. This is a, one focus type character. All we care about is getting into Sanctum. I have another hunter, like I said, on my main server that can do other hunter stuff, right? So the intention is not to do transmog runs or anything like this. So I've been really kind of like looking through the boss list to see exactly what pieces of gear she can benefit from. And if a wing doesn't have any, I don't even do that wing. When she can queue for Sanctum, she will serve as an extra character that's doing the mount farm. So that'll be nice, because for those that don't know, Sanctum Gloomcharger can be a weekly farm for you if you want. All you gotta do is the first wing of the Sanctum raid in LFR drops off the 9. And also drops on all difficulties. So if you are an actual raider, you could do like the LFR wing, and then you could do your normal and your heroic, and if you do mythic, that as well. So yeah, I got her to 173 item level, and I also got her renown up a bit. I'm still working on it, but at the time of recording the video here, she's renowned 22, which got the mount. So I did obtain her first renown mount, or even just her first mount for anything to do with Covenant, honestly. So my goal with her is, since she is Kyrian, I have other characters that are sitting in Kyrian, but they're very much alts, and this is a character that's gonna focus raids. So I do kind of have another goal for her, and I thought that maybe we would use her for the name is not coming to me, but the Kyrian 5-stage building, right? I'm drawing a blank to what that's called. I'm a newbie Kyrian character right here. So yeah. Yeah, I can't remember, but I've seen some people do it, and it looks very challenge mode, and I think it would be cool. Something I would really like to do on my druid, but I'm very much against swapping covenants. So all the covenants that my characters picked for the very first time is the only covenant they'll ever be part of. So yeah. One other thing that I did get accomplished this week was on my druid, and it was Mystic Rainbow Horn. I have had my character parked out there for months now, hoping that someone would spawn Mystic Rainbow Horn. A couple of days I did look for the horn as well, but it's been a very casual hunt of the rare. I had no ambition to like farm it every day. So basically what happened is I never saw it at all. I would never catch it. And yeah, there'd be days where I'd look for the horns. I couldn't find any of the horns. And then every time I hearthed, no one had, popped the rare. And while I was doing a video the other day, I found a horn and I clicked it and summoned the rare. So what that means, because I didn't actually need it for the achievement, because since it had taken so long to find, Mystic Rainbow Horn spawned, I had finished off that fucking achievement with like other rares. So I didn't even need it for the achievement. But I did still need it because the main reason I was farming that rare was not for the achievement. It was for the soul shape, because I am on a hunt on my druid. My druid is going to have every single soul shape. Yeah. And I do plan on doing a video on that eventually too. The only thing that's halting it right now is that I am like 99% sure that we haven't seen all the soul shapes yet, and that they're coming in. What we're hoping will be future patches. I guess things are up in the air with everything going on with Blizzard, but I still fully believe that we haven't seen all of them. I think there's still like 3 or 4 soul shapes missing that are not implemented into the game yet, or at least not in the live version. So yeah, once that's done, then I'll probably do a video on all the soul shapes and how you can get them and all that. But yeah, until then. So that is the goals and the accomplishments. Okay, so on to news. There really isn't a whole lot of actual game news, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys know why that is. The focus for the past, we're going on, I guess, the second week now. The focus is still the lawsuit, and a lot of stuff has been going on. Every day we're finding out new details regarding this stuff, and yeah, it's really unfortunate. Unfortunately this happens all over the place, and the only reason this is really big is because it's Blizzard, right? But I do think it's, still good to keep in mind that, these issues like sexual harassment and being passed over for opportunities at your job and stuff like that happens all the time. There's lots of people that deal with it that are in worse cases, right? Because they don't have a community backing them up. And yeah, I think the people having to do with Blizzard, they're lucky because they have a bunch of gamers to really back them up, whereas most of the time when situations like this happens, it's a person all alone, and they got no fight in them, and they got no one willing to fight for them. And yeah, I definitely think I think they are definitely fortunate in this situation to be involved in such a big company that lots of people out there are willing to support them and all that. So let's start with the first piece of news. This one has to do with the investors. The investor rights law firms have actually launched a security claim investigation against Activision Blizzard. And the class action lawsuit seeks recovery of investor losses and failure to inform investors of the ongoing investigation resulted in a misleading stock market share price. So basically, in other words, by them not sharing information regarding the 2-year investigation, which went into several years of alleged ongoing harassments, Activision has basically misled their investors into thinking the stock is more stable than it actually is. And so that is what's going on there. As for the stock, obviously it's dipped. I'm pretty sure, I don't even have to tell you that. When bad things happen, that's what happens, right? The next piece of news has to do with walkouts. So there was earlier last week, there was an in-game walkout that was held in Oribos. So that was happening at like 9 a.m. PST. I imagine this was EU only because I can't see why they would make it that time for NA. So I totally imagine this is fully an EU thing as far as the support. Just because like a time frame like that doesn't make sense for NA. Most people are working during the day. And they're not in-game playing. Like the only people that would be streamers and YouTubers. And I imagine you wouldn't stage a walkout in-game just for content creators. Like you'd want the world, supporting you, right? So this obviously must have been EU only for the in-game. So that was 9 a.m. that they staged that for, and they were supposed to be logged out for 4 hours. I didn't really follow this, so I don't know if they were logged out the whole day or if they were logged out 4 hours, but I do know at the very minimum they logged out altogether at 9 a.m. PST and stayed out till at least the 4-hour mark. And on to more walkout news. The employees at Blizzard did the same thing. Also, there was a tweet as well where they were actually getting paid for the day. And the last one I have for you guys has to do with the spit emote. Now, this one came as a shock to me. Over on the Burning Crusade PTR, in Classic, obviously, the /spit doesn't do anything. Like if you target a player, it just won't do anything to a player. This change could be two different things, right? Most of us are probably sitting back thinking that, the /spit has to do with a form of harassment, right? Since the lawsuit is all about sexual harassment. And I do believe it is a form of harassment, but I don't think it's the sexual harassment that brought this change on. I think it's all the people that basically were bitching about being spit on for buying the Reawakened Phase Hunter mount. The funny part of this is I hate to bring someone into the picture here, especially someone we all know. But this spitting thing, this was brought on by Asman. He told his viewers to spit on anyone that was on a store mount, and when they did stuff in Classic, he told them to go over there. Just like on the topic of sexual harassment, I've known him to objectify women since I can remember starting to watch him. That's literally where all that comes from. If you were to ask what streamer all of those spitters watch, they would probably all say his stream, because he actually tells them to go in there. And which brings me to, something I've said in the past about how I feel like he's a cult leader of a cult, because he tells them to jump and they say how high. They will do whatever he says. And that's, it's really unfortunate sometimes, because, those are why we call them influencers. And influencers isn't always a good thing. So my question is, how long till this goes to retail? I'm just sort of sitting back here waiting for the moment that I don't even recognize my game anymore, because so many things has been removed. Okay, so that basically covers that. The next piece of news does have to actually do with the game. There were some hotfixes. It's screenshotted right now on screen, so feel free to go through those. And one notable thing in these hotfixes is the fact that you can now exchange anima for trade skill goods and Korthia crystals. And for those that don't know, Korthia crystals can actually be sold on the auction house. They are going down and down in price for two reasons. One, we're a little into 9.1 now, and two, the lack of players that are playing. So they are going down, so you might want to hop on that fast. But yeah, if you have no desire to actually use your crystals, selling them's the best thing to do, preferably right on day one. But I think they're still going for like 3,000 a piece on my server, so I don't know, you'd have to check your server out. Okay, so the next pieces of news that I have for you are not WoW related. I just wanted to throw them into this week's WoW Weekly. So hopefully you enjoy, because they have nothing to do with WoW. So the first one has to do with the Nintendo Switch OLED. If you already have a Switch, then you'd only be getting it if you like those colors. I'm actually okay with my Switch, so I don't really feel like I need it. Plus, I'm not big on white. I've always really loved the PlayStation, because it always comes in black, like right away. Same with the Xbox. Actually, now that I think of it, they all do. But I remember the Xbox at a point, I think when it was the 360, I think you got white before you got black. I remember holding off on one of the versions because I wanted the black one and they were only selling the white. So this is a pre-order. This isn't available until October 8th, but it's been kind of hot news lately because, as we all know, scalpers are a thing, and they have definitely been snagging these up. And for those curious, the price is $450 US. Okay, so the next one we have is the Steam Deck. I'm torn with this one because I always wanted Steam to kind of have a more portable thing, but I really love my Switch because it's portable, but adapts to like any TV, right? So yeah, because I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but I just don't do the portables anymore. Like I need the controller and my big screen TV, or at least a decent sized screen. But I do like the idea of this, especially as someone who, when COVID isn't a thing, travels quite a bit. And yeah, I think it would be really cool to have this. The only thing is I guess the Switch is like this too, but the buttons at the very top, I feel like that wouldn't be too terribly comfortable. And honestly, I can tell you it's not. I have played once or twice. I've played my Switch. But the difference with the Switch is the left one's like at the top, and then the right one, the joystick's like more closer to the bottom, so it's not so bad. But these are exactly the same area, and yeah, I don't know. I like it, but I don't know. I'll probably end up getting it anyway, but there's a couple of things I'm not totally sure of. And also, there's a lot of games you wouldn't be able to play on something like that. I personally just like them for, when I do travel, and then I can just like take it. But I hope it can, hook up to something. It does look like it does. So as for prices, actually these are Canadian prices, so they'll be slightly cheaper. You can kind of bank on, I don't know, maybe like $20, $30 cheaper than the prices I'm mentioning. The first pack is $500 Canadian, and it's a 64 gigabyte and includes a carrying case. The second one you can get is a 256 gigabyte. It includes a carrying case, faster storage, and exclusive Steam community profile bundle, and it's $659 Canadian. And then the third one, which is the final one, is 512 gigabytes. It's got faster storage, premium anti-glare etched glass, your carrying case, which is exclusive, so it may look like a cooler carrying case, and your exclusive Steam community profile bundle, and an exclusive virtual keyboard theme. And this one is $820 Canadian. This really makes me ponder whether I want it, because let's take these three options. 64 gigabytes, I would fill that up so fucking fast. 64 is nothing. Like, I don't even feel like that should even be an option. But whatever it is, there's no way I could get a 64 gigabyte. The 256, I might ponder it just to save a little bit of money, but still, And the 512, even that, like, I personally feel there should be a 1 terabyte option in there, because games are, a lot of the games nowadays take up a lot of space. A good majority of my games that are sitting on Steam or PlayStation or whatnot, a lot of them are like 80 gigs. So, yeah, I don't know. But then on another side of things, I would only ever use it when traveling. So I could probably get away with only having one game installed, Would I spend those kind of prices on something like that when I have the Switch? That's kind of the other thing. I love my Steam games and all, but I don't know. I don't know if something like that's really worth it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you interested in the Steam Deck? Do you think these options are good? What do you guys think of the prices? And yeah, like I said, those are Canadian prices, so you can bank on, we'll say roughly, I'm not looking at a conversion right now, but roughly first pack would probably be more around $475, and second pack's probably like $600, and the third pack is probably like $750. The next topic I wanted to talk about today, and this is the final one, is other MMOs. So we have been looking at some New World, right? And I was really hyped for New World, prior to them launching their alpha or whatever it is. And looking at it, I'm not as hyped, and I'll probably never play the alpha or the beta or whatever is going on. I can't remember if it's in alpha or beta right now. But I probably won't ever play it because you have to purchase the game to get it. And I'm not going to purchase a game that I'm all of a sudden iffy about, you know? Like, one thing I will say is the UI. It's been a while since I've seen a nice UI like that. I think New World has the best UI I've ever seen in an MMO, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, that's unfortunate because I was actually really hyped for this game for many months, and don't let this trailer fool you, because even me looking at this trailer as I edit this video, I'm like, damn, this is a good trailer, like this trailer is amazing. It looks really good. So I feel it's important to not base your decision off this trailer. Go and watch someone's gameplay. But from what I've seen off of watching people test it out and stuff, is that it does not look ready to launch in a month. And that's when it's supposed to actually launch. And if they're gonna launch it in a month, I feel like they've got a lot of work to do. While there are some cool aspects of it, I just feel like it does look kind of buggy. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm ever going to play it because until it looks good, I won't even consider buying it. And you have to buy it to have access to the beta. And honestly, as I'm recording this, the beta's almost done anyway. It's going to be done on the 2nd, which is the day you're going to see this video. So yeah, unfortunately, but it's pretty popular. I'm sure you guys know it's in beta right now, if you were interested. But yeah, I've that was the case with Ashes of Creation too. I wanted to test that one out, and that one was really pricey because it's like a Kickstarter thing. So they wanted like $500 or something like that to test their game. So yeah, and it's, for me, that's an unfortunate situation because I forget about games really easily. So if I'm hyped for a game and I can't play it, there's a high chance it never gets played because I'll forget that it even exists. So much time will go by and I'll forget that I was interested in it at all. So yeah. But anyway, those are just my thoughts on this one. The next one I wanted to talk about, and this is the final one, is Palia. I've been talking about for a while, and it dawned on me that I haven't really done an episode where I put the trailer in it, and there might be some of you guys that have never seen the trailer for Palia. This is, of course, a game that's not scheduled to be released for a couple of years at least. And there is actually no release date, so there's no scheduled release to begin with, but we'd be looking at least a couple of years. But they are actively working on it. They are, there's been progression with the characters and all that. I just recently found out that you don't actually pick whether you're a male or a female. My only thing is I'm hoping this doesn't mean that this is like a pronoun game. I'm kind of adapted to choosing a female, you know, like, yeah, I'm not used to this world of people, like, you know, don't assume my gender, you know, like, if you look like a guy, you're a guy to me, you know, like, like, that's just how it goes, you know, I'm just, so, I don't quite understand, the whole not having a female as an option and not having a male. I guess you just pick the character body type and then make it whatever the fuck you want to make it, you know, and whatever, you know, like, obviously that's not a game breaker to me, but, you know, I'll just have to, you know, be very careful on trying to make my character look like a girl because I'm used to just picking the female option and then they make it look like a girl and I just kind of customize it, right? So anyways, that calls it on this week's WoW Weekly with Myst. I hope you enjoyed and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.